Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Elrinth, the first boss, and it's been a while since I made one of these videos, and now it's time to get on to it again. So, I've been playing some Dota 2. There's been a new hero released called Dawnbreaker, which I really like, and there's been a bunch of changes in the game since I played it. They've added this Aghanim's Shard, which grants your characters all these new abilities, and they remade some of the Aghanim Scepter things as well. And yeah, it's really interesting to play the game again. And I've been seeing some pretty weird strategies over at YouTube and watching some replays and stuff like that, and I quite enjoy it. I have quite not finished Bravely Default 2. I haven't really had time to play any because I've been playing Dota 2 instead. It's just much easier to just click start on your computer rather than having to go over to the consoles and set that up and fix in the streaming, etc. Anyways, today we're not going to talk about what I've been playing. We're going to talk about what you've been playing. No, but honestly, I want to bring you guys some news, and there's been quite a few things happening since last time. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have the Castlevania animated TV series, which is getting its season 4, and it's coming out on May 13th. And this is the last Castlevania season, they say, and they will make something different in the Castlevania universe. Hopefully they will follow Simon Belmont or Alucard, or maybe Soma Cruz. I would love that. Anyways, stay tuned for the new season. And then we have the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3 Network store, which will be kept alive a bit further. So they first went out and said they were going to shut it down, and then there were still developers developing games for both, or at least the PlayStation Vita, and they were caught completely off guard by Sony. So now at least they have a chance to release their game they've been working on for quite a while, and yeah, they'll keep it up for the future. They haven't really announced a shutdown date, but that's going to happen with all these services. So once these services go out, there's really no way for you to purchase these games or play these games, perhaps. So and there's also been this new report about PlayStation 4s and 5s being unable to play even the physical games once the battery inside of the PlayStation 4 or 5 dies. I think the same problem is with the Xbox, perhaps. At least with the PlayStation consoles, they have detected this problem. Hopefully Sony can do something about it, because if this battery dies, we're totally screwed, because it needs to do a handshake against the Sony servers. So if the Sony servers go away in the future for PlayStation 4 or 5, and this battery dies, then there's really no way for you to play these games, and that's horrible, to be honest. Anyways, let's continue on. So the PlayStation 1 Digital has received a new firmware update. It gives support for the Sinden Lightguns, and once I got news about this, I went and ordered 2 of them, and they'll be great to compare versus the G-Cons I already have. And shipping to Sweden costs me 280 Great British pounds, so that's very expensive. But it's gonna be really cool to test out these Sinden Lightguns, because they'll be working on HD TVs compared to my G-Cons, which only work on analog TVs. So that's gonna be awesome to try out. My Life in Gaming just released a 1-hour YouTube clip on 240p downscaling gaming on CRT PVM monitors. I saw a game called Sayonara Wild Hearts there, and I fell in love with the music. And I also realized I didn't play through, or actually play at all, Blazing Chrome or Devil Engine. So I'll have to check out those games at some time. As a big metalhead, the game Guns N' Runs totally spoke out to me, because there's some amazing guitar riffs and melodic awesomeness in this trailer. However, I went to pick it up, and the game itself is not what I had hoped it to be. So basically the stage design feels like proof of concept stages, and the enemy placement and like traps and stuff like that, it all reminds me of Mighty Number 9, so that's not very good. I came to the second boss, and he's super annoying, so he's like flying just above where you can jump, so you have to double jump in order to hit him, and then he shoots all these homing missiles and stuff like that, which you have to dodge, and it's quite difficult. So the difficulty ramped up from okay to being really hard once you got to this boss. And I probably won't play any more of the game, as yeah, I thought it would be something different, but the music, I love that. So Metroid Prime 2D demo has been released, and it's quite short. You can play it through in around 15 minutes if you like to. Once you finish the demo, there's revealed that you didn't like get enough percentage. I got like 10% the first time because I only found, I think it was a missile pack or something like that. And so after you finish the demo, you get to continue playing the demo, and you can run around in the world and find all these cool items. And once you've done that, you're still not done, because there's some hidden secrets in the game. You get hints from things you scan, and yeah, those secrets are really hard to understand how you're supposed to do, but there's some really cool Metroid fan things in there, so check that out if you haven't. The original Shantae has been ported from the Game Boy Color over to the Nintendo Switch by the guy called Modern Vintage Gamer on YouTube. He put up a new video on YouTube which explains some of the experiences he had during the porting, and it's really interesting. Go check it out. Narita Boy is a super stylish action platformer. It's been recently released on Steam for Windows and Mac. It seems it's received a lot of positive feedback, which is great, and I've checked out a lot of videos of the game, and it looks really good. Sort of 80-ish, I don't know, steampunk. It reminds me of Blade Runner a little bit, and it's got some really cool music, so check it out if you like those kind of games. But I haven't really had time to try it out, as I've still got way too many games to play. The Mega Man 9 stage Galaxy Man has been ported to the original NES through like a ROM hack or similar, and the music is made by the guy called Ship Jockey, who's made some really cool ship tunes I've been listening to over at SoundCloud, and I think you should check it out, because Mega Man 9 is one of my favorite Mega Mans, together with 2 and 3, and Mega Man X, of course. And yeah, it's really impressive, and I hope he does the whole Mega Man 9, but I'm not sure he will, so really cool sort of proof of concept. Nier Replicant is a remake of the original Nier game for the PlayStation 3, and it's been recently released, and in my opinion it looks amazing, and I need to play it. So I have the original Nier, and I also bought the new Nier Automata, and I still haven't opened this one, and I also bought the Replicant, so I have to play through either the Automata or the Replicant game. I think I'll play the Replicant game before I play through Automata. I've heard really great things about these games from my friends, and I need to play them. Oh, and yeah, I also have Persona 5 to play through as well, so yeah, too many games to play. The game Fez is now available on the Nintendo Switch. I never finished the game back when it was released, as there was some puzzle I couldn't figure out, and I sort of didn't want to go to GameFAQs and figure out how to do it, and I forgot about the game basically. It's a really nice sort of exploration game where you sort of turn around the world while your character is still in the front, so you're still turning the world, and it sort of locks the player in place while you're turning the world. So if there's like a ladder on one side, then you can spin it until you get the ladder in front of the character, and then you can hold on to that once you've spun it to the correct position for your character. It's really cool, and it's got some nice puzzles. I need to go collect these squares or pixels or whatever you want to call them. I think they're called Trixels in that game. That's pretty cool. For those of you who want to play Legend of Mana for the Nintendo Switch, the remaster, you can buy a physical copy over at PlayAsia, which is the Asian copy, but it's going to have English texts in it. And I think there's a couple of other games which that happens with as well, such as the Saga Frontier remaster, which is also coming. So go over to PlayAsia if you want to buy those. And that brings me to the next game, which is the Saga Frontier Remastered. They've recently released a new gameplay trailer, which looks pretty cool. And the game is coming out on the 31st May on the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, you could buy it over at PlayAsia. Lost Ruins is a game for Windows coming out May 13th on Steam. And it looks like Symphony of the Night a bit. And it's got some amazing graphics and animations. I just love the attack animation of the little doll she throws at the enemy. And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit gory, but if you like those kind of games, check it out. Sunblaze is a pretty cool Celeste kind of clone, where you really need to like jump, and you can get an extra jump if you hit some certain things, and you have to navigate through mazes and stuff like that and get through rooms in order to progress the story. It looks pretty good, and it's coming June to PC. Scarlett Nexus is a game which looks very similar to a previously released game called Astral Chains. It's an action game with weird enemy designs and a lot of red and blue colors. And it's coming to Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S on June 25th, 2021. So very soon. The new Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge, is also coming to Nintendo Switch later this year. They showed some new gameplay footage on the recent Nintendo Direct, and it's got some amazing music. And because of that, it just became one of my top 10 upcoming games. I really need to have this game because of the music. Getsu Fuma Den, Undying Moon, is coming to Nintendo Switch in this year, and it's a remake of the old Famicom game, which is very similar to Zelda 2. I'm very fond of the original game, despite it being quite difficult. And this time it's going to be made into a 2.5D action game. And you can get early access over at Steam on May 13th if you'd like. Check it out. Skul, or Skul, the Hero Slayer by Southpaw Games, is a 2D action platformer. You have around 90 heads you can swap out for your hero, which gives you different abilities. The game is coming out in summer 2021 for the Nintendo Switch, and it's been out on PC, for Windows, Linux and Mac OS X since January this year. So if you have a decent PC, you can go play it there, or you could wait for the Switch version. You decide. It looks pretty good. Also on this Nintendo Direct, they showed House of the Dead, the remake, and it's coming to Switch later this year. And sadly we won't be using light guns, since you've got crosshairs on the trailers. And yeah, there aren't any light gun potential for the Switch currently, it seems. I love to go play this game in the arcades with a friend back in the day when the original was released. And they say they're also releasing the second game, which is the one I actually played in the arcades. I never played the first one. So it's gonna be interesting to try out this first one. Check it out. Vokabulantis is a new stop-motion game which had a successful Kickstarter by just barely, and it's by some Danish people, and it looks pretty damn good. One thing which I thought was pretty cool is that Elijah Wood went out and promoted the game, and one thing I've thought about is that there's no release platforms currently, but I'm guessing Windows PC. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Check it out. Victory Heat Rally is another Kickstarter which was successfully funded last year at $25,000. It reminds me a lot of Outrun, and it has some really nice graphics and music. There's a demo over at itch.io which you can play for Windows. I can't find any release date, so it's still to be announced. I previously talked about a game called Annalynn here on the channel, and it seems now they're making a Picross game in the same world called Annalynn Picture Prospector. Check it out if you like action puzzle games. Otto and the Ancient Worlds is a 2D action platformer game very similar to Shovel Knight. You wield a whip and you're basically Simon Belmont, however with a beard. It's coming out for Steam on Mac, Windows and Linux, and the release date is yet to be determined. Beholgar is a game where you take control of Conan the Barbarian, basically. And it's got some nice graphics, animation and some really cool parallax scrolling. It's coming out on Windows, but there's still no release date. So you should go check out the trailer for it at least. There's some really cool mood in the trailer of Telomere. Basically the character is walking through the world and everything behind him becomes dead. I'm not sure how the actual game will play, but the trailer looks really cool and it's coming for Windows but no release date. Check it out. Grapple Dog is a very visually appealing grappling game with some amazing music. I've been a big fan of grappling games since Liero and Worms back in the old days. And this one looks like a great one as well. Game design, graphics and programming is done by a single person, that's really impressive. And it's coming to Windows, but it still has no release date. Check it out! Sanabi the Revenant is a 2D action platforming game with a great visual style. You're a shinobi with a prosthetic arm. I wonder which game that reminds me of. Anyways, the game is coming out for Windows and it still doesn't have any release date. So check out the trailer until then. Loot River is a top-down, procedurally generated labyrinth game which takes place on a river. You use platform pieces on the river to create a path forward. You need to defeat enemies, and once you die, you'll start over just as it's a roguelike game. The game is coming to Windows, Steam, but it still doesn't have any release date. Check it out. Little Nightmare 1 and 2 developer Section 9 Interactive are working on a new sci-fi adventure game. It looks really cool and it's coming out on PC and next-gen consoles, and we know nothing more than that. So yeah, follow the news, I guess. Super Mighty Power Man, the champion of the galaxy, is a 100% Mega Man clone and visually it looks great. It had a cancelled Kickstarter as they were looking at multiple publisher deals. Now it's basically in limbo and I know nothing about when it's coming out. So yeah, hopefully we'll get more news about that. So yeah, that's all for today. This was a pretty big one as I've been waiting to make this video, so I collected a lot of games coming. I have to give special thanks once again to Digital Poseidon, and thank you very much. And also I need to put out some news here on a game me and my big brother being developed. It's called Skull Keys, and basically I want to make a Metroidvania, but we're incorporating some multiplayer ideas into it. One of the first ideas we have are making a sort of bomb match, so you need to use bombs in order to get as high as possible onto a tower. The first player who reaches the top of the tower will collect a key and win the match. Yeah, so other than that, I can't reveal much about the game, but everything is still work in progress and can totally change from graphics to sound to gameplay and everything. So, but basically my goal is Metroidvania where you gain experience by defeating enemies, and there's going to be numbers showing from enemies when you attack them, and there's going to be life bars, and there's going to be spells and different weapons and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for more news on that, and I'll be bringing more other video game content. I have some Virtual Boy videos coming, and I have some other videos I can't talk about, and yeah, I'll be streaming Bravely Default 2, so I can start with any of these other games which I have here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for checking in, and thank you all for the new subscribers as well. We're getting close to 300 now, and once we do, I'll do a 300 what they call six-pack video, where I show my six-pack abs, which I don't have. No, just kidding. We'll see what we do. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Bye. Follow the news. Vadå follow the news?